But now we turn to two of the most storied programs in MWPA history, 24 combined state titles between Rockford and Huron.
Yeah, this is actually a really interesting matchup, too. We were talking about it a little bit at the half of that last game. I think these two teams are actually a little more similar than people might think. I think, on Rockford's side, they have a takeover player in Wagen, but they got a lot of weapons surrounding him on the offensive side. I just think they need to support Will Cheney if he's going to play from behind on defense. I'm interested to see kind of what they do with Huron because, you got Graham Baker in center for Huron, and he's just a force on the inside. What did you say, 100 and something goals?
104 goals as a sophomore.
Yeah, that's extremely impressive. So if I'm Rockford, I really need to try to neutralize him and make everyone else beat me. But that doesn't mean that Huron doesn't have other guys too. Michael Shaheen's got an outside shot. Jaden Martin did really well at regionals. So I think Huron, and in terms of goaltending, their goalies just got better and better. So I think this is going to be a good one too.
Ozan Euler is in goal for Huron. In fact, Ozan Euler is a Division I baseball prospect, but had Tommy John surgery. He was actually throwing with his left hand in goal. I learned this because Graham Baker's mother sent me a litany of amazing notes on Huron that are on our spot chart that we can talk about throughout the day. But
amazing.
She gave me some really good stuff. I mean, she might be my best broadcast prepper that I've ever had. Rockford wins the opening sprint. We're underway. Rockford trying to make it back to the state semis. They missed last year as they got Pioneer in the first round and went down. Finished 7th last year at states. Huron back at the state tournament. Were not there last year. Skip shot high right, and they're off and running. Chay Chino.
I was actually going to say before the game, if Rockford really needs to go with other options besides the middle. In the last game we were talking about how hard it is to get shots from the middle of the pool. They usually go to Wagen in the middle, but starting off, Chay Chino, great shot, and Rockford's ahead.
And a takeaway here by Rockford up against the lane line. It's going to be Will Cheney out there. Much older team Rockford than Huron. You look at Huron, you see a lot of sophomores and juniors on that roster, so good valuable experience for them here today. Reinsma looks into center, leaning back, the shot dies in the water. It was Wagen, defended one-on-one straight up by Peter Fazekas.
Yeah, that was actually a good job defensively. I mean, Wagen did get a shot off, but it was a pretty weak shot, and that's not to the fault of Wagen. That's because of the defense.
Up top, Huron working the ball around. You can see the crash is straight up. They're going to make someone else beat them. Here's an opportunity for a long shot for Huron. They roll it into center. Here's Graham Baker trying to get back to the ball. Baker loses it in the steal, taken away by Rockford.
I like the pump fakes from Jaden Martin as he's attacking the goal, trying to make sure the goalie's respecting him, but also then getting it into Baker.
Here's Reinsma, right side Wagen, one-on-one, got inside, water power move, and it's too easy for Christian Wagen.
I really like the turn there, but even more I like that he didn't give up on the play and go for the kick out of the 5-meter. Kept the ball, held it, looked at the goal, and, put it right in. So
forgot to reset the scoreboard there before that one. Sorry, everybody. 2-0 Rockford. That's on me.
Huron with the ball here up top as we go down low. A lot of pressure there from Chay Chino in the corner.
Up top, Huron working it around. Sorry, working my board functions as well. Had to talk to Jason Swedick. Good to see him after that game.
Major credit to Jason Swedick for that game plan against Pioneer.
I stopped there by Ben Seymour. Yeah, I was down on deck and I just said, hey, you got nothing to feel bad about. Your kids played
not at all.
hard.
Especially on that last play call that was just so close to working.
That you called from up here in the booth.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You were the one that was like, he's going to call this. It was 2 or 3 times in that game you did that, and it's good I have you up here. I'm learning so much. Up top, Huron, ordinary foul. It's Bunnell, the sophomore.
Looks like you got Shaheen down there in the middle as it goes to him.
Shaheen trying to get back to the ball. Going to be an exclusion in the middle of the pool.
I really like that offensive play, though. I mean, not really play, but just having Shaheen go down low and having Baker go outside. Jaden Martin with the ball up top.
Martin kicks it far side to Baker, and they're going to be keen to get to Baker in a hurry. Shaheen Works it down low to the lefty, into center, and a goalpost shot. That time, one touched in by Cal Bunnell.
Wow, and that was completely contested, too. It wasn't like he was by himself or the defense was sleeping. He was completely covered, and Huron still gets the pass off to make it 2-1.
So Rockford in front 2-1. That was Cal Bunnell. So I think this for Huron. Any goals you can get from people not named Graham Baker is a huge plus.
100%, and that's not to discount the rest of the Huron team. It's that they're very capable. It's just that they need to find other offensive weapons, besides Baker, because Rockford's going to be so focused on making sure he's not the one that beats them.
Backdoor pass and thrown off the side of the goalpost. That time by Will Cheney. Might have rushed that one a little bit, and Ozan Euler was up against that goalpost pretty quickly.
I'm glad to see Will Cheney being aggressive on offense. He's really kind of the anchor of Rockford's defense in a whole D usually. But I really like seeing him shoot right there.
They got one-on-one in center. Huron trying to get back to the ball. It's a good steal from up top.
As I was just saying, Will Cheney, anchor of the defense. Shaheen tried to go for the backhand, and Will Cheney's hand immediately right there.
Craig Peterman, the Rockford coach, almost just fell in the pool, actually. I was just saying he's pushing the pace of the game. Trying to get his guys up the pool. Reinsma.
Quite the fight on the outside right there. Not fight.
It was a scrap there for sure. There's a lob over the top, wide right that time by Wagen. Interesting shot selection.
Yeah, definitely from center cage. That's not typically what you want to go to.
I think they want to see what Ozan Euler is capable of.
Yeah, definitely.
Potentially, that might be part of it.
Testing the goalie in the first quarter, I think, is something that I always tell my teams when I'm coaching too. See what they're capable of and then make adjustments in the second quarter.
Nice steal in center D by Wagen, who knocked it backwards to Seymour, the netminder today. Head for Joe Reinsma. Reinsma, all region, plays both field and goalie. Good utility player. Up top. Into traffic, right side. Here's Reinsma. Reinsma's got room. Winds, pumps, throws it into
nice
center.
Pass.
Step out. Big stop there by Euler. And, I think that might have been more positioning than it was technique that time for Ozan Euler on the save.
Definitely. The sweep shot by Chay Chino, really solid. I think we're going to see that again later in the game if he ends up going back inside. And as he gets the ball again.
Chino's got it. Down at about 4-3 meters. Up top. Logan Stevens draws the foul out there. He's outside. Winds. Skip shot right into the stomach of Ozan Euler.
Typically when the ball goes right there, like right to the middle of the goalie's chest, that means that the offender is just completely gripping the ball and is squeezing it way too hard.
Offensive foul, I believe that was in center. Baker. Rockford gets the ball back. They work it up the pool with speed, trying to push the pace in the game.
Rockford crowd coming alive behind us a little bit.
That's some good crowds here already today. Into center. Reinsma's got position. Leans in. Fouled hard that time by Baker. The fact that Graham Baker's a sophomore, look at the size on him. Nice and strong.
Yeah, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the coming years.
There's a shot there. Skip trying to go cross cage. It died in the water. Knocked away by Euler. And a save. You think 104 goals as a sophomore? That's the type of kid that's going to be in contention for Player of the Year over the next couple of years.
Oh, 100%. Huron needs to get the ball up the pool here. Only 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Euler's throwing with his offhand. He can still get it halfway up the pool. It's just a question of, in transition, is he going to be able to get the ball moving? Here's an exclusion on Graham Baker in the corner.
Chay Chino open down low.
Chino saved there by Euler, and he throws it away. Smart play by Euler, and somehow made the stop on Chay Chino wide open.
Yeah, Chino with the pump fake, trying to sneak it by him with the near side, and there's a timeout for Huron.
It's turning into a bit of a swim meet, and I don't think that's what Huron wants. I think they want to play at a slower pace than Rockford does.
No, I completely agree with you. I think they're trying to work the ball around the perimeter, get it into the middle. They haven't been super successful from the middle yet, but I think that as the game moves on, we'll have to see more looks, not only from the outside, but on post-ups and catch and shoots.
Rockford, we look at the weapons they have. We talked about how Huron's got the one weapon that everyone knows about. Chay Chino's got 66 goals, 62 for Logan Stevens, 50 for Joe Reinsma, who spends almost half his time in the cage, 48 for Nate Cheney. Christian Wagen's got 115. So you got I mean, I just named off 4 or 5 guys that are 48 and up.
I was actually going to say I think maybe Rockford's most key player, in my opinion, is actually Logan Stevens. He's had some phenomenal offensive possessions in the regional semifinal against Grand Haven that ended up going to overtime. He had just had a great strong side turn in the middle when he got the ball and just a super fast shot. He's got great awareness leaving early from defense to offense. I think I'd really like to see him be aggressive in this game. And, we've already seen Will Cheney and Chay Chino already take some shots, so it's good to see for Rockford that they're not relying too much on Wagen.
For Huron, let's go with some of our fun notes that we got from Mrs. Baker. 7 different languages. 7 different first languages spoken by Huron
spoken by players. That's really interesting.
English, obviously, but French, Arabic, Chinese, Turkish, Hungarian, and Mongolian. Imagine being a fly on the wall in those practices.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think they talk to each other in different languages in the pool? I know that's what I would be doing.
You know what? They might, but my thing is they all speak such different languages that it might be hard to communicate.
It might be. I'm interested to see what Huron does off of this timeout. Is it going to be a set play? Looks like there's some driving going on.
They've got Baker in center working one-on-one. He's got some space in there in center right now.
He does Matt Dowling posted up a little bit from that 5 spot. Looks like he's still trying to get inside.
Here's Baker. Crash comes. Baker submarines the shot. How he got that shot off.
Wow.
It went over the cage, but he had 2 guys all over him and still got the shot away, and it was a hard one.
Again, good job by Will Cheney. He tried to go for the backhand again, but credit to Graham Baker for trying the backhand and then immediately turning.
Defensive lapse for Huron and make it 3-1 Rockford that time. Left wide open was Nate Cheney.
Yeah, I love the pump fake by Cheney. Is that Will Cheney, Nate Cheney?
Yes.
Brothers, I would think.
Yes.
Love the pump fake by him and shooting it cross cage.
2 seniors. And this Rockford squad under Craig Peterman. 3rd year at the helm for Craig Peterman. Been there at Rockford for 17, but 3rd as the head coach. Only John Haga, Dave McWaters, amongst others.
Graham Baker's got space in the middle, but Rockford gets the ball. Logan Stevens with the steal.
They're really keen. Rockford's if they're going to heavy press up top, they're not going to allow the ball to get to Graham Baker. Right side, Rockford working their way in. That's Wyatt Cliff out there. Cliff to the middle of the pool. Here's Stevens, got a little room. Pump fake, once, twice, skip low, right, make it 4-1 Rockford.
I was just saying a couple minutes ago, Stevens, I think, a really key player in this game here for Rockford. Demonstrating that he is a threat from the outside with that shot.
Rockford going to the bench. Jacob Hopkins will jump in. And they're trying to get one more body in. Here's Chay Chino, who just got a little bit of a break.
Hopkins has got some speed. I'm interested to see if he can capitalize on potentially a mismatch in terms of speed. Huron with a little bit of a play here off of the start, but Rockford gets it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of ball management that time. Here comes Chay Chino on the break. He's got advantage. He's got a man ahead of the pack. Threw it in the middle, and Huron somehow got back on that one.
It's a great job by the Huron defense, just swarming on the counterattack.
Up the pool, near side. Here's Dowling into the middle. Here's Baker with room. Baker rolls over the shot, and a save there that time by Seymour. He rolled over into the shot, and I think based on the way he rolled, it was pretty obvious he was going to go right side of the cage that time.
Yeah, I think that was a good read by Ben Seymour. I think he kind of knew what Baker was going for there.
Physics-wise, it would have been hard to go back across the cage with the way he rolled over.
Yeah, definitely. You got to get your legs under you, too, in that situation when you're already swimming, and to get back up.
In the middle, and oh my goodness, a tip play in the middle of the pool, and the goal is going to be Wagen. It was thrown up in the air on a straight lob down the middle by Cheney, and Hopkins, the officials say, touched it last as it went by Euler.
Wow, that was very impressive. Nate Cheney with the pass. It almost looked like a shot to me. 2 seconds left. Huron's going to shoot here.
Here's Baker at the horn, and he missed it high. So we go to the second quarter. Rockford 5, Huron 1 at the end of the state quarterfinals. First quarter here from Saline.
Rockford really just asserting their offensive dominance in this game right now. Going up so quickly, up by 4. I think, like we talked about, this is kind of what happened in the Jenison Pioneer game. I believe it was 4-1 after the first quarter. Jenison, couldn't kind of keep their foot on the gas, and that's what Rockford needs to do here and not let Huron get back in this game.
No, and they've done a pretty good job defensively. They're being aggressive on the press. They might be single covering Graham Baker down there, but it's not mattering because they're taking the ball away before Huron can get the ball to Graham Baker. Not an easy strategy to run, but it's working really well for Rockford right now.
Yeah, and I think especially if we see it's working here in the first half, it's only going to, in theory, get better as Huron just gets more worn down by the press. It's going to be harder for them to pass it safely, run the perimeter, and get that in to Baker. So.
From the other pool, Skyline leading Grand Haven 1-0 at the end of the first, and those are two very physical teams traditionally, so I would imagine that's probably part of the story in that one. Joey Sutherland has the call on that one. If you want to watch some other games while you're watching us, you can go to MichiganWaterPolo.com, look for the live streaming links in our story. We will also have new live streaming links up for the second round games here later tonight, so make sure you stay tuned to MichiganWaterPolo.com. 5-1, Rockford in front here at the end of the first. Only goal for Huron from Cal Bunnell on a 6-on-5 up against the goalpost.
What adjustments do you think you need to make if you're Huron? What do you think Barnett's saying right now in the huddle?
My thought right now is if they're going to single cover Graham Baker, we got to get the ball to him quick.
Yep.
Now, once the drop comes, you just have to say everybody's got to be willing to shoot from everywhere. Mm-hmm. The moment someone shoots, just get back on defense quick because Rockford is counter happy right now.
Yeah.
The thing that's overwhelming Huron isn't so much Rockford's skill, although I think it is, the skill level might be a bit different here for Rockford. I think what's overwhelming them is the fact that Rockford's getting down the pool and starting their offense before Huron has a chance to catch their breath and get set.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'd actually like to see a couple drives from Huron. There hasn't been a lot of motion as Huron looks like they're getting the ball here because of a
false start. Looks like on Rockford. Far side.
Baker's open in the middle again.
Yep, and they've got him one-on-one. Now they work it to the outside. Here comes the drop. Baker with the left hand after it, and they get the ordinary foul on the near side. That is Josh Bergdolt, the near side official, out there officiating with.
That's Matt Bergdolt's brother.
Oh, it's Josh Bergdolt. Sorry, I just want to make sure I had that correct.
It's Matt Bergdolt because Josh Bergdolt's younger.
Okay, it's Matt Bergdolt.
I played with Matt Bergdolt at Michigan State my freshman year. He was a senior, and I coached Josh Bergdolt. Or actually, Josh Bergdolt is now on Michigan State too. He was a freshman this past year.
Here comes Wagen, shot over top of the cage. Glad you're here because I do get the two of them confused. I don't see them nearly as often as you do. Matt Bergdolt.
Yes.
And Brent Augustine.
Matt Bergdolt went to Dexter, was a part of some really, really good Dexter teams.
Yes.
I think, I'm trying to remember when he was a senior, 2015 maybe?
Up top here, Shaheen into center, one-on-one. And an offensive foul, I believe, in center. That's on Graham Baker.
A lot of movement from Graham Baker when he gets the ball. I'd like to see him kind of slow down a little bit and tread up and just make a nice step-out move because he's got space. He's Will Cheney's really – or not Will Cheney, sorry. Nate Cheney is rather playing from behind right now, as I can turn the camera. Nate Cheney playing from behind right now. Actually a drop coming from the other side.
That's a great steal by Wagen, reaching underneath the water with his off arm, popped it up, and now he's got advantage. He swims into the middle. Rockford doesn't have much of an opportunity to clear, but they got Chino in behind the defense. Chino on his back, rolls to his stomach. Chino is in, and a 5-meter, so the goal will not count. Rockford will get the penalty shot out of the play.
Yeah, I actually agree with that call. I think, Cheney had possession and pump faked it, but then coming from behind still in the last game, Huron prevented that goal.
Wagen for a 5-goal lead for Rockford, 5:39 to go.
That was wrong.
Low left on the skip, make it 6-1 Rockford. Body position sometimes when it comes to the 5-meter can tell you a lot about where they want to shoot. Usually if the shoulders are square to the net, the shooter wants to go cross cage. If it's the non-shooting shoulder towards the net, they usually want to go short side. It is a little bit harder to turn your body if you're, shoulder pointed at the net to get all the way over for the cross cage shot.
That's why usually coaches kind of say, you don't want to be complete. Your shoulder doesn't want to be completely pointed toward the net. You kind of want to be at a 45-degree angle in your normal shooting position.
Yes.
And then it's a little harder for the goalie to tell where you're going to go, and it's easier to go cross cage. Another turnover. It looks like from center there, Graham Baker with some physicality.
Yeah, and you could tell he's just trying to draw some sort of position in there, and they are still leaving him in one-on-one coverage. Over the top, taken away here. It's Michael Shaheen with the good defense.
Huron with an advantage, I think, up here. Oh, Will Reinsma is going to meet him, though.
They've got Baker in one-on-one. They're trying to get it to Baker, and waiting too long at that time was Cal Bunnell. He pump faked to try and draw the Rockford defender to him to give Baker a little more space to go one-on-one, and just missed him. Meanwhile, here's Chino on another break down the right side. Chino shoots, and a save by Euler this time. 6-1 Rockford, 4:40 to go here in the second quarter. Up the near side of the pool. Matt Dowling with it. Kicked it off. Peter Fazikis down into Baker, and a stop that time 2-meter here for Huron.
Yeah, that shot was from almost half pool, and it was on the water, but it actually kind of skipped up at the end, and good stop by Seymour, but Huron just trying to do anything to get the ball in the goal and make this more of a game.
Baker turns, backhand shot, good defensive play that time by Nate Cheney. He put his palm right on the elbow of the backhand and killed it in the water. Now here's a rush, opportunity for Stevens, working one-on-one, power move, skip low right, make it 7-1 Rockford.
Stevens with another one. Like I said, he has really good awareness leaving early. He didn't leave too early, but it was more of just he got over his hips super quick when he saw that that Graham Baker got the ball and that it was probably going to be a shot. That's something that's really hard to teach and that you just kind of have to get by getting game experience. This is an experienced Rockford team, a lot of juniors and seniors, and I think that's showing here.
Well, you also remember that anybody that's on Rockford has been to states every year of their career, so much so that Rockford has not missed a state tournament since 1984.
Oh, wow.
1983, actually. They've been every year since 1984. That's a lot of experience. Into center, Baker trying to power his way back to the goal, and he gets swarmed that time by Reinsma. Just couldn't get much of a shot away that time as Rockford able to take it away again.
To me, the MVP for Rockford right now is Nate Cheney. I mean, he's just really containing Baker on the inside. Rockford's doing a good job not letting the ball get inside, but when it is, he's really just stuffing him and using those long arms.
Here's Stevens. It's deflected in by Huron. Coming back to the ball that time after it was Alex Moskis. The shot was partially blocked and then went past Euler for the goal. So it's a goal for Logan Stevens.
Stevens just has such a quick move when he gets the ball, going laterally, just moving the ball a little bit and throwing the goalie off and just putting it right in.
I want to go back to the Cheney-Baker matchup. You just mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's 8-1 Rockford right now.
Sure.
So you look at it, and he's done a great job. I think he might give up a little bit of weight to Baker. Baker looks like a little bit more muscular, a little bit thicker. That's not an easy one-on-one matchup. There's some experience difference there for sure. But, man, he's doing a great job on Graham Baker right now. It's Rockford's Wagen, works it up the pool, and a big stop by Euler.
Good stop by Euler. I think that might give him a little bit more confidence, too. I think it's hard as a goalie. Rockford put in an 8 already before the half. The ball keeps going by you, and just to get a good stop like that might be a little bit of a game changer.
Here's Bunnell. He's got the Huron goal. Going to try again. The shot, save, rebound. Given right back to Seymour by Nate Cheney as Baker and Cheney mix it up down there in center. I think both guys getting a little frustrated. Center D is not fun. You get real close to somebody for a long time. It's a wrestling match. No matter how much you might like that guy, maybe you play club with him or something, it gets nasty in there after a while.
I think it's hard for center Ds, too, to kind of participate fully on the offensive end, too.
Here's Bunnell, the shot way over top of the goal, wide right.
I think it's hard for center Ds to kind of participate fully in the offense sometimes, or they feel like that they can't because they're so worried about defense. In Nate Cheney's case, his job probably from Coach Peterman is you're going to stop Graham Baker. So far, he's doing a good job, but he's kind of been a little bit at half pool, not too engaged in terms of the offense, but it hasn't mattered too much.
Right side, taken away here by Huron. 2 minutes 5 to go here in the second. Getting updates from the other pool. Skyline leading Grand Haven 4-0 at the half. Been told great defense by Skyline so far. Right side of the pool. Here's Moskis.
See the drop coming there from the other side as Rockford gets the ball.
I think they're trying to give Cheney a bit of a break because it's been a wrestling match for the last 6-7 possessions here.
Yep.
Wagen just inside midpool.
Some cross drives that makes, who is that?
At 16 down there for Rockford. Wyatt Cliff, power move, bar in. 9-1 Rockford with 99 seconds to go here in the half.
That's some incredible strength from Wyatt Cliff. I mean, the defender, number 17, Daniel Huang, I believe, completely stays in front of him. He doesn't give up any space. It's just Wyatt completely maintains control of the ball and just stuffs it in the goal.
So this one getting well into Rockford's favor early. A lot different of a quarterfinal than we saw in the last game. So one good thing for Rockford is they can afford to get some guys out of the pool and get them some rest for game 2 of the day. That can be key in this tournament. Long shot from the outside. Dozami takes the shot. It's over top of the goal. Rockford wants a timeout with 1:26 to go in the second. We'll take a little bit of an audio break here and remind you that our friends at Cap 7 are the official ball of the Michigan Water Polo Association. We'll be back with the conclusion of the first half of the MWPA network. Minute and 26 to go in the opening half here between Rockford and Huron is 9-1 Rams. So right now the countdown is somewhat begun. 15 minutes, 26 seconds of game action left. If they can hang out of this, they are back in the state semifinals and back in the top 4 after last year. Went to the state tournament. They had a tough first-round matchup with Pioneer, lost and ended up losing again and ended up in the 7th place game, which, as we know, Rockford typically does not end up in a 7th place game. So
yeah, I mean that's partially a tough matchup, but also I think this year they got a pretty solid squad, from the top of the roster to the bottom, and they're going to be interesting here in the second round if they can get there.
Into center, and it's going to be an exclusion here on Duzami, who I think didn't realize that it was Rockford's ball, so he went and touched it. He's headed off to the corner. Rockford 6-on-5 to make it 10-1. Wyatt Cliff all the way in. The shot saved by Euler that time, who read that one cleanly.
Yeah, it seemed like he didn't fully reset after his pump fakes. He was kind of forward a little bit on his motion, and then he didn't kind of get that full arm extension all the way.
Oh, boy. Turnover potentially here.
Looks like some head contact there from Wagen, the Huron ball.
There's Moskos just able to get back to the ball into center. Baker's 1-on-2, still battling for it. Swam over Wyatt Cliff. It's going to be Rockford's ball.
I think at this point, I mean, it's 9-1, and I think in the second half, Coach Barnett needs to put Graham Baker on the outside and get him out of the middle because he's not getting much in there, and just see if you can.
Rockford had a wide open driver. Wyatt Cliff, they shoot from about 6 meters cross cage. Euler made a stop, but they had a breakaway, essentially, if they had gotten the ball there.
Yeah, definitely a miss there on the weak side as Huron brings the ball back down. 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Baker's in 1-on-1, and the pass thrown away up top. That would have been a good opportunity because he had side, and he's got a size advantage on Chay Chino.
I was going to say, it's also not the matchup that he's been used to the rest of this game. Chino's a little smaller. He might have been able to do a turn or something a little more creative.
Here's Wagen, late shot, stopped by Euler. Euler, I actually don't really mind that play that time as he throws it away from trouble. At the horn, Huron shot is short. That's the half. Rockford leads it 9-1 here at the state quarterfinals. As Rockford coming in and putting the pedal to the floor real quick here in this one.
Yeah, Rockford didn't let up after the first quarter. They came out with a lot of energy, scored some outside shots, had some goals from the middle, kind of scoring from all places, and they didn't stop in that second quarter. Huron having a tough time here offensively. Rockford just not letting them, kind of get to their game plan, and that's credit partially to the preparation by Rockford.
As we take a look later in the evening here, Pioneers punch their ticket to the state semifinals as Don Packard and company makes their way up here into the stands to presumably watch their next round opponent, Rockford, here. And the other one, it looks like it's going to be Hudsonville and Skyline, so seeding-wise, all chalk so far. And I think, if you were going to pick, those might have been the matchups you picked for the semifinals. I think this has the potential to be one of the best and most exciting semifinal rounds we've had in a long time between both semifinal games.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree with you, and I think that goes back to a point we were talking about earlier about how, it's just 4 really solid teams, and it's not, that we do have some stars. That's not what I'm saying. There are some guys that can get it done on both ends of the pool. But top to bottom, there just is a lot of threats in the pool on both sides, and it's going to be about a lot of those guys stepping up. I mean, we saw even in the game earlier, Jenison had plenty of guys that you may not think of when you think of that team, but they had great games and just came up a little bit short.
Let's take a look back. Last year, Pioneer's path into the semifinals, they had Rockford, who was real good last year. And then they had Hudsonville in the semifinals. I mean, that's a gauntlet to go through because Grand Haven finished second in the West last year. So you think we got to go Rockford, Hudsonville to get to the state championship game? That's not so easy. Now, Jenison Rockford doesn't appear to be that much easier this year for Pioneer.
No, definitely. Yeah, no, I think it's interesting when it comes to these matchups. I think you really have to game plan individually for each team. Like I said, I think the makeup of these teams is similar, but they do kind of play different styles. Rockford, and not as much in this game. They're really relying on the counter, but typically they really like to get the ball down low into Wagen. I think if I'm game planning against Rockford, I got to take that away and make them shoot from the outside. And then in terms of Pioneer, they really like to do a lot of cycling through guys in the middle. But honestly, I'm gonna make them shoot from post ups and try to crash down on them, and just take the ball from them. So,
yeah, and if you look at if it does end up being Rockford and Pioneer, those are 2 teams that have tied twice this season. I mean, you don't see ties often in the MWPA. It's at tournaments for the most part, but they met at 2 different tournaments and tied both games. Pioneer tied Hudsonville in regulation, then took them to a shootout and lost. So you look at their resume, it's pretty good. Rockford's, on the other hand, against state tournament teams so far this year, 8-4-2. You got to remember some of those are to Hudsonville. 13 times state champions, all of them since 2000. It's amazing to think they've won 13 times in the state tournament just since 2000, when the boys MWPA has been around since 1972. And they're the all-time leaders now.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year I came into Michigan State, and there was I'm trying to think of how many guys, 5, 6, or 7 guys from Rockford, all in my class who are great friends of mine now. But I hated playing against them in high school. I mean, they were just so dominant and just, have really complete teams and are always so well coached. So
I was on the east side during kind of the later stages of Huron's heydays when they had a couple of really, really good European players. I remember David Haskin. I remember Alexander Petrovic. I remember having zero fun playing against Huron all those times. Saw them play a lot of great games. Saw them here in a state championship game in 2011. Pioneer ended up winning that game. But 2 programs with a ton of tradition. Huron is a team that is trying to climb back on top of the mountain where they were. And again, you look, and I see Bunnell, the offense so far today for Huron, a sophomore. Graham Baker, 104 goals, a sophomore. Fazekas, who started the game in center D, a junior. Jack Humphreys, you just look around the roster, they got a lot of guys that are coming back next year. So the experience that they're gaining right now, so valuable.
So valuable, and I mean, that's what we were talking about with some of these other teams with Rockford and Pioneer. They've consistently been in the state tournament for so long, and Huron has too. It's just recently, not as much. So I think that getting this experience, especially for these younger guys, is going to be really important looking toward the next couple of years.
Rockford in the dark caps down to our left. Huron in the light caps to our right. Second half about to get underway here. Reminder, if we get to a 10-goal advantage for either side at the end of the quarter, it will be a shortened 5-minute fourth quarter. So if Rockford does get the ball or get the number up to that, we weren't behind schedule here at the state tournament, and we do have the break coming up, but it'll give us a little bit of a longer break before the next round.
That's good defense there by Jaden Martin in center D, and also by the goalie there.
Yeah, Jaden Martin's been really good at the later stages of the season for them. Martin, not a big goal scorer, but one of their better defensive players. Into center, one-on-one, and a shot skips wide left of the goal. That was Mike Shaheen in center. And you're right, down here On the outside of the pool is Graham Baker. He was one-on-one with, unfortunately for him, Christian Wagen, who's got a lot of experience and one of the best players in the state.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I wanted to see Graham Baker go on the outside a little bit more in this half, and it looks like that's what Barnett's going to, trying to mix up the offense a little bit and try different things.
Quick kick back into center. Sweep shot attempt. Taken away. Good defense in center D again by Jaden Martin as Euler back to the ball.
Not a lot of advantages here on the counter. We saw in the first half Rockford just really getting up in transition. So far, a little more quiet.
Ooh, Baker dragged out of the play there by Joe Reinsma. And going to be, is that a roll?
I think so.
I think they just ejected Graham Baker from the game.
I don't know if that was for a comment. I wasn't sure if he said something. There was a little bit of a scrum there with Reinsma coming over and stealing the ball. Not sure exactly what happened here. Hopefully we'll get an update in a second.
Reinsma scores the goal. Give us 1 sec, Zach. We'll see if we can get an update on what just happened.
Yeah, Reinsma with the goal there. Really good cross-cage shot with the pump fake on the 6-on-5 as Graham Baker gets out of the pool.
The score table has said that Graham Baker has not been rolled, so we'll see. I don't know officially if that was a minor.
That might have been a minor misconduct.
Oh, because it was only one half. That's what caught me. You're right. So
again, still not sure what exactly that was for, but yeah, he's out right now on the bench. So
he looked at the guy that I think Joe Reinsma, who he got tangled up with, and typically that's when you get in situations where talking happens. So a minor act of misconduct called by Brent Augustine in the game.
I actually like the call. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what it was for, but as this game gets a little out of hand, you want to make sure people are being safe and making sure everyone's a little more calmed down.
Offensive foul here on Rockford, and Huron had numbers. Euler going to hang on to the ball a little bit longer, though. In the pool, Fazikis on the near side, into center, backhand shot. Oh, that's a beauty for Mike Shaheen. Off the arm of Seymour, top left corner, and Huron is on the board for the second time today.
Shaheen really got out of the water there. That's one thing that I'd like to see from more guys, not just centers, but guys that go in the post. A lot of times, people's first move, partially because of the contact, is they go underwater and they bury their head. He really treaded up there and just got his arm up and actually put that almost top corner on Seymour.
Rockford trying to regain their 9-goal advantage here on this possession. Skyline now leading Grand Haven 5-1 at the end of the third from the other pool. Reinsma into center, and that one given away that time by Rockford, maybe. Huron back to it, and Euler will protect it.
We have an advantage on the other side. Matt Dowling, it looks like, is in the corner.
Had an opportunity for it, but the pass got up the pool a little late. Now he's got to protect the ball with Reinsma coming at him. Reinsma's got those long arms, hard to play against. Into center, missing Shaheen. Shaheen back to the ball. I think he tried to draw the grab call, but both hands were up by the center defender Wagen in there.
Michael Shaheen throws his cap, too. Came off a little bit, I think, in the center play that's been very physical this game. And that's an aggressive foul by, who is that?
That's Peter Fazikis down there. And he came all the way over the top. That's a pretty easy call this time for Bergdold on the near side. Here's Reinsma.
Rockford with the 2-pop, having Chay Chino come out.
Oh, and they handcuff Euler. They hit him kind of in the wrists, and it goes upstairs over the top of his head into the net.
Euler clearly frustrated throwing the ball a little bit there. It's tough as a goalie when the ball just keeps going in the net, and the defense is having a hard time with what Rockford's doing.
So Fazikis will be made to put Shaheen will be made to put his cap back on here by Brent Augustine. Rockford and Huron both going to the bench for a couple substitutions. Graham Baker back into the contest, so it was, again, a minor act of misconduct, which is why you saw the half-rolling hand signal. That one always throws me for a loop.
Yeah, and you don't see it super often either, so then I think when you see it, you automatically go to the full call. Like I said, I don't hate the call, though. I think it was important to keep the game in check.
Yes. You got some frustrated guys. It's a physical game. Baker immediately into a scrum, taken away from him.
And Rockford just not letting up despite the 9-goal lead.
Wagen with room. Across the pool this time for Hopkins. Hopkins works his way in. Marked this time on that near side. Back up top. Going to be an exclusion here down low by, trying to catch the number on that
16,
train.
I believe.
That's Erdenbot into the corner. Up top.
Yeah, I think there was a foul when he didn't back up, as we've seen a couple times today. Rockford moving the ball around. Nate Cheney out of the play. But Rockford still scores.
Make it 12-2 Rockford on the goal that time. Will Cheney. As Rockford continues to go deeper and deeper into their bench. They'll bring on 22 this time. Gabe Rackow. You look at that bench for Rockford. I mean, it's just like a freight train.
It's a whole other team, pretty much.
It's two more. I mean, you could put, I think I counted, they had like 26 guys in their postseason roster.
I'm pretty used to it because at Nationals we had a roster of 30. I mean, even more than just being able for those guys to get in the pool, it's an advantage in terms of cheering too. I mean, that's a force and energy on the bench. We saw Don Packard, trying to hype up his guys as Pioneer kind of mounted that comeback in the third quarter in that last game. So
there's something to that. If your coach can bring a little energy too, it really can get you going. Opportunity for Rockford and a sidewinding shot down there. That was Andrew Lepick that took the shot, missed it wide to the right. Now a breakaway up the pool. Euler doesn't think he can get it up there. And again, we talked about Euler's throwing with his offhand because he's got injured to the other arm.
So impressive that he's still playing with that injury. I mean, even though he's throwing with his other hand, that's really hard to do.
Well, he's a Division I baseball recruit. He's a big-time baseball recruit. He's no small thing at Arbor Huron. And to be in the pool playing water polo, I mean, that's a little bit of a change here.
Do you have an idea what position he plays in baseball? I'd be interested to see because, I mean, if he can throw, I actually might have liked to put him in the field.
I think he is a pitcher. I believe he's a pitcher is what I was told by Margaret Baker. Again, big thanks to Margaret Baker for giving me some help on the Huron preparation.
Another kick out here on this possession. Rockford trying to work it around.
That's Erdenbot again to the corner. His second in about 3 minutes here. Down to 2 minutes and 10 to go in the third. Rockford way up top.
Graham Baker just doing everything he can to try to secure that ball.
Rockford on the outside, trying to get something going here at the end of the 6-on-5. Couple of pump fakes across the formation. Rackow couldn't hang on to it. Up top, late in the shot clock. Rackow, short.